Brought to you by ListerPros TV, streaming from Tempe, Arizona. And we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Jorden Neilson here, host of Real Estate Pros on ListerPros TV. And today we are here with Candy Bowen of Tierra, Antigua. Welcome to the show, Candy.
Thank you.
And so for those that don't know who you are, we'll give you a couple minutes to introduce yourself, how long you've been in real estate, and what ultimately interested you, maybe what did you do before real estate, what interested you in doing it, and then how long you've been in real estate.
Yeah, so I was a park ranger, law enforcement at Patagonia Lake, and then I got pregnant with my son, decided I didn't want to be law enforcement anymore, and moved to Salarita, and I decided to get into real estate because I thought it would be something where I could spend more time with my family. That's what I thought.
Bad career choice.
Turned out a little bit differently than that, yeah, because I get really busy. So I started real estate in November of 2016, and actually this last year I just won the Tucson Association Rookie of the Year Award. I sold 50 houses in 2017, so it was a really fantastic year, and it was really nice to be able to help people and help families. So I think that's the main thing that keeps me going, is to be able to hand people those keys or to sell those houses for people.
So you started, when did you say? 2016?
2016 November, so 14 months.
Dang, you've only been in 50 homes all by yourself?
That's right, yep.
Dang. Did somebody mentor you through all the paperwork, or you just figured it out on your own and
So
all that stuff?
that's a funny story. So when after I had my son, I was a stay-at-home mom for 6 months, and I've worked my whole life. So I was like going stir crazy and decided I needed to get into something. A friend of mine who actually sold us our house got me a job working for a transaction coordinator company. So I worked there for 3 months, learned all the paperwork, saw those commission checks coming in, and was helping agents who'd been doing it for a long time with their paperwork and catching mistakes and things like that. So I decided that, I can do it. I know how to do the paperwork, and I have people skills, so I figured give myself a chance.
Nice. So 3 months of the paperwork, so you got your feet wet real quick with the
oh yeah,
the paperwork. That is awesome. So Rookie of the Year, TR 2017.
No, Tucson Association of Realtors.
No, TAR. Oh, I say.
I thought you said Tiara. Oh,
no, I said TAR. So
oh, there you go.
All of Tucson, not just your
Correct.
brokerage.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So 50 homes. So talk to us. What's the secret to success early on in a real estate career? Because I think that's where a lot of people struggle. Yeah. They get into real estate, they think it's going to be easy or it's easy money. Right. But then they get into it and it's harder than it looks. It takes a lot of work. So you obviously found success very early in your career. So what led to 50 deals in your first year? Okay,
so I had a really realistic goal of selling one house in 6 months, and then I would stick with it. So, check, we did that. And was
that your initial goal?
That was my initial goal, is to, we saved enough money to be able to make it for 6 months. If I didn't make any money, then we'd be good. So that was my initial goal. So I went out there and I just did 5-6 open houses a week. I knocked on doors. I just kept myself in front of as many people as possible. And I worked as a showing assistant for another agent for an hourly wage. So that was a really nice way for me to get in front of clients and build that confidence that I have. I think one of the main things that clients always tell me is that I have that follow-up that other agents don't have. I'll call them back. I'll answer phones. You call me at 8 o'clock at night, I'm going to answer the phone. Hopefully you don't call me at 8 o'clock at night for nothing, but typically I'm there to help people make it an easy transaction. If it's a listing, I'm helping you, get people over to give you quotes on painting your house and new carpets, and I'm there every step of the way to make it easy for somebody so they feel real confident in me and my abilities.
So you said it real quick, but you made it sound like it's somewhat easy, but what you actually said was you're doing 5 or 6 open houses a week?
Correct, yes.
So that's probably 3 or 4 times more than most agents. So from the get, were you doing that many open houses?
Right, yeah. So I you don't have any listings at the beginning, so what I do is go on MLS and search the listings in my area that my office had and held open houses for other agents. And from the beginning, I got my first deal. My first closing was middle of February. So from the first open house I had actually 4 people buy houses, and the last one just closed the end of December that I've been working with for that entire year.
From your first
open house.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So,
dang, 4 deals from one open house?
That's right, my first open house, which is crazy. So I think, you get that in you, and you do the follow-up, you do the auto searches, you see a house that a client would be interested in, and you give them the call. They're not calling me, I'm calling them and saying, hey, I saw this house. You get out there, you see all the new listings on the market, so you know what's out there and what's available. You kind of get to know your clients, and you know what they're going to like. So if I'm the one calling them, it's really, and then after you do such good service for people, they refer their friends and family to you. So that's another way that I get more clients.
So 4 deals from, that's very not unnatural.
That's not
unheard of. That's
very
not
unusual.
That's not normal. But there's something that you must be doing with these clients and potential prospects for them to actually go from not knowing you to walking into an open house, knowing you, and then actually wanting to do a real estate deal with you.
Yeah. So I grew up a Navy brat. My dad was in the Navy for 25 years, and then I joined the Navy myself. So when you move around your whole life, and sometimes it's every year you're moving, you learn how to make friends fast. So I can relate to people from the East Coast, the West Coast, the North. I was in the Navy, so veterans love to work with me because we like to work with each other, things like that. So I think that, just my life experience in general makes me a really good agent because I can relate to a lot of people, and I really care about my clients.
So you said that your follow-up is I guess not normal. You do more follow-up than the average agent. What does your follow-up look like when you're getting information and contacts from open houses? Because obviously they come in, maybe a couple of them came in at a time, but you're introducing yourself, you get to know them a little bit. But what does that follow-up look like to make sure that they turn from that cold lead or semi-warm lead into a hot one that actually does a deal with you?
Okay, so a lot of times people who are coming into open houses, they're basically just dipping their toes into the market. So they're not maybe ready to go out and buy a house right now. And a lot of people say, I say, are you working with an agent? And they say, no, I'm not really working with an agent because I'm not looking to buy for 6 months or a year. And I'm like, well, that's great. I love working with people for a long time. It helps me get to know you. If you want to see a house, you give me a call, let me know. I'll set you up on an auto search, so you're going to be the first one to know what's coming and going off the market. And that way you can really get a grasp. When you're ready to buy, we're going to be ready to pull the trigger because we know what's out there. And then I follow up with that by setting them up with an auto search, giving them a phone call every once in a while and seeing how's everything going. I help them with the loan process. I got a couple people that I like to work with. If they don't have a lender, I walk them through. First-time home buyers, they get a little scared. And you really just explain it to them so it's simple. And it's really just explaining and making people feel comfortable and confident in you.
So 50 homes first year, how did you, and you managed all the paperwork yourself?
I did.
100%. Who else helped you?
Yeah, so I have
somebody's got to help you.
So I told you that I was a showing assistant
when I
started.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of agents that are my friends that will help me if I need somebody to open a house for an inspection or something like that.
Oh, gotcha.
So I have a really good management system. I kind of use what I learned as a transaction coordinator and put that to work for myself. So really every morning I spend 1 hour doing my paperwork, and it's a task checklist. So that way it's easy for me to take care of all of my clients and make sure we stay on top of it. I usually put an alert 2 days before something's due so I can make sure to be on top of everything. I use a title security agency down in Green Valley, and they're a big part of my team. And they're amazing. That's why I use them with every single deal. So it's like you surround yourself with the right people and the right teams, and all the transactions go smoothly.
So what system do you use to manage this?
My secret sauce?
Is that the
no,
secret sauce?
No, it's not my secret sauce.
I'm
kidding. No, it's called Paperless Pipeline. Anybody can get it. It's $75 a month for 10 transactions, and then if you get more than 10 transactions, you can pay a fee. But you basically set it up with the checklist. You put your dates in there, due diligence, closing, all the different steps that it takes. You just put it in there, check it off.
So that's more like your transaction management?
That is. And that gives me, like I said, I spend 1 hour in the morning doing that, and that's what gives me more time in the rest of the day to make my phone calls, to follow up with my clients, and show houses and all of that.
Awesome. So we talked a lot about open houses and man, you're just going out there, going hard on the houses. You're determined to get that one deal in your first 6 months.
Yes.
After 6 months, how many deals had you have done? Because it probably grows.
Okay, yeah. So February I did 1, March I did 2, April I did 3, and then I think May I did 6. So whatever.
So then it started to creep up from there.
Yeah, it started creeping up from there. But
so what does the future look like? Are you going to try to do 100 deals by yourself, or are you trying to, work? Because you did mention that you have a kid and you wanted to spend more time with.
Yeah. So 2018 goals. Yes, of course, 2018 goals are to grow. I would love to double my numbers, but realistically, I'd like to get into the 70 transaction numbers. I definitely will be hiring somebody to help me full time, because when you get to this level, I think it minimizes your ability to do everything, especially being a good mom and a wife. Those should be number one priorities for me. So getting an assistant, getting somebody to be able to help me with the time is one of my goals for this year, for sure.
Nice. So being a wife, how is your husband taking this? Because you're like, all right, we got money saved up, 6 months, I'll try to do a deal, and then you just start, it starts snowballing. What does he think of your success?
He is my biggest supporter. He's always been, I'm always an overachiever, if you will. When I went to the police academy, I was top of my class. They elected me as president, and I got highest academic honors, and my class voted me as the rookie award for the police academy. The same thing with leadership training. I always am the one that gets picked to go do speeches and things like that. So I just have it in me to just do my best, 110, 20%. I know that's not possible, but
right.
I think that when you have that in you and you find a career that you love, and that time that you spend working and doing a good job for your clients, and you really get the reward at the end of the day, that makes you want to do it even more. So I'm ready to help somebody, train somebody to help me, so we can both do really good in the future and also give really good service to my clients.
Right. So from a client perspective, what sets you apart from the, I guess you would call it, the average agent on the street? Why are people ultimately picking you? Because you threw out a lot of things, your background, your experience. Is there anything, if you had to pinpoint one thing, what would that one thing be that sets you apart?
Well, follow-up, and that extends past closing. So I have lots of clients that reach out to me for help with home warranties that I've gotten them, or questions about the community, places to get their house painted, just different things, and I'm always available, always answer my phone call. A lot of agents, I think, after the deal's done, and they don't follow up with their clients anymore, but my follow-up continues past closing, and that way they feel like they're moving here, maybe they don't know anybody. I'm who they know. So it really helps for me to be able to help them find things about the neighborhood, if I can. If I can't, I'm going to find somebody who can help them.
So you said you spend an hour a day on Paperless Pipeline. It sounds like you probably have some type of regimented day on how you're allocating your time as a real estate agent. What does that look like?
So it's not as regimented as I would like, because I know that in the mornings I do my paperwork, in the afternoons, but I think as an agent, as a good agent, you can never be too rigid, because somebody's going to want to see a house at 2 o'clock, and if I had phone calls planned for that time, I'm going to switch my schedule around. So it's having that schedule there, having the goals for the end of the day, but being flexible enough to be there for people who need you.
Right. And so I think that's probably the problem that some agents have. They have goals and they set what they're going to do at a specific time, and then, I'm going to go do showings instead. But then they don't revisit what they skipped over, or hold themselves accountable to getting back to the activities that they basically committed themselves to doing at the beginning. So awesome. So what other things outside of so obviously right now you're a year in, you're probably focused on follow-up as well, or referrals from your clients. So you have clients and referrals. What does that look like? Your follow-up, because you said you follow up past the closing. Like you said, it sounds like you're a resource for your clients, whether they're looking for a painter or a pool person or whatever that may be. What else? What does it look like past closing, or how do you stay in contact without just saying, "Hey, I'm a realtor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
like,
so I think just being there and making a phone call every once in a while and just saying, hey, how's it going? How's the house? You know, how's everything going? How's your kids liking school? Then, oh, yeah, there's Candy. I remember her. And you just kind of like make sure that you're top of mind to your clients and make sure that they know that if somebody gave me great service, like I get somebody who gave me a really good haircut, and they keep doing it over and over again, I'm going to tell my friends about them. So I feel like as a service person, you provide the service, you provide the good service, they're going to feel confident in recommending me to their friends and their family. And I let them know that that's how I build my business, is by their referrals.
So what advice would you give to a brand new agent starting today?
Oh, brand new agent. Hustle. Hustle. Just hustle. Like, get out there and don't be scared. Most people won't even ask you how long you've been doing it. You go out there and you get confident, you get experience where you can. Like I said, I started off as a showing assistant. Don't be scared. Ask agents who are doing 50, 60, 70 deals a year. Hey, do you ever need help showing? I would do it for an hourly wage. Don't be scared to talk to people. That's another thing I did, is there's several agents in my agency who do really good. So I invited them to lunch and I picked their brains. And, people do that to me now. Other younger agents come and ask me to go to lunch and share some of my story. There's enough business for everybody out there. There's no need for us to be catty or against each other. We're all in it for the same deal, for the clients to have a good time.
Right. Why did you choose Tierra Antigua as your brokerage?
Well, I interviewed with several. The number one reason is because when I interviewed with Matt Clifton,
right,
I felt like I was home. I felt like this is going to be a family. It's a local brokerage. It's not big. They're not taking a lot of your commissions, and they do offer you a lot of training and help, and there's a broker hotline. I had one of my really good friends is with Tierra Antigua also, and so I went with them. And when I interviewed with some of the other brokerages, I just didn't have that feeling that this is home. As soon as I knew, I basically signed up as soon as I interviewed with Matt Clifton. So,
right.
And Matt and Kim have been great for, the whole
they're
time
awesome.
supporting
I've met them
me.
both, and they're great people.
Yeah.
So as a real estate agent, you mentioned that do you focus on Sororita only, or do you cover more ground than that, or
I go everywhere.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. And I go up to Marana. I even put an offer on a house in Red Rock. We didn't get it, unfortunately, but I'll go where my clients want to go. And, I've done a couple in Tucson, but Green Valley, Sahuarita are my main base because I live there.
Right.
But Tucson, Marana, Rio Rico, all of it, I'm ready
to cover. You're ready to hustle,
yeah,
right?
Hustle. Go
over,
where
put the miles on the car.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if somebody watching this is interested in asking you some more questions about real estate, or they're looking to buy or sell their home in the Tucson area, how do they go about getting a hold of you?
Yeah, you can call me. My number is 520-488-4940, and my email is candybowenrealtor@gmail.com. So really easy to get a hold of. I always answer my phone. So, if you have questions or if you're looking to buy or sell, I'm ready for you.
And last question, you mentioned you've moved around all over the place because your parents were in the Navy and you were. Out of all the places you've lived, what has been your favorite?
Well, I'm gonna have to say here.
Yeah.
Because this is the place I've lived the longest in my life. Almost 10 years I've been here, and that's more than double anywhere else that I've lived. I love the weather. You can't beat the weather. I mean, it's January and we're wearing short sleeves, and this is what we're wearing outside too. So if you're coming in from the north and it's -6, this is the place to be. There's all kinds of outdoor recreation. In the summer, yes, it's hot, but we have some lakes around and air conditioning. But the winters, it doesn't get cold and you're able to go out and about. So I'd say this is my favorite place.
Yeah, Tucson is a place. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Candy, for joining me on Real Estate Pros this afternoon, and we will see you guys on the next episode.